morning, everybody. How are you? The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon. Good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Short Rise Up show from my car, complete with Dealy Bopper baubles, complete with like jingly bell jewelry, complete with Christmas jumper. Again, for those of you that are relatively new to my community, I'm here for Christmas, and it is the whole of December. Doesn't start on Christmas Eve, doesn't start the week before, doesn't start when the kids break up from school, but 100% starts on the 1st of December. So hello and welcome to the Short Rise Up show. It is Friday, where we are celebrating the week together. I hope you have got lots to celebrate this week. I want to know in the comments, what have you achieved? What goals have you smashed? What things are you celebrating? I am appreciating my balls today. My baubles are out and they are shining, my shiny disco baubles today. Yesterday was the first day of Whamageddon. So for anybody who doesn't know, Whamageddon is a game that we play. It is a wider known game out in the world, but we play it in the IATQB community. For anybody who doesn't know what it is whereby you need to avoid the George Michael version of Last Christmas right up until midnight on Christmas Eve. We've got Jason Jones watching along this morning. Hello. Have I just ready the Christmas tree? Come on, Joe Wilson. You should know by now. I've got a whole box of goodies for every day in the run up to Christmas. Today is no exception. Today, I'm actually working from my car for an hour or so. I'm up at Chamber of Commerce ladies lunch, Christmas lunch today, and it was just easy for me to get up here after the school run and go back home and then come all the way up here. So I'm actually working from my car for an hour or so today. I might go in and see if they'll let me sit and have a brew and go and do some work after I've done the show today. So yeah, it's avoiding the George Michael version of Last Christmas, and nothing bad happens if you hear it, but you are out of the game if you do hear it. So who's been whammed already? Who has been called home to Whamhalla? I raise my coffee to you this morning, to my fallen soldiers who are out of the game already. Tell you what, we're playing with fire yesterday, you lot. I want to tell you what I'm celebrating, actually. Celebrating a few things this week. Hang on, let me get my brew. Let me raise a coffee to my fallen soldiers who have been called home to Whamhalla. I try and avoid it every year. Joe's saying I cannot abide that song. I've been singing it to myself, hoping that that will ward off the official version, Nick Davis is saying. So yeah, huge love to all of you that are taking part. My baubles are getting in my way. This must be what it's like to be a boy. The balls getting in the way all the time. So yeah, a big hello to everybody that's playing along with Whamageddon, and hello to everybody that's not. Like, don't worry, just because you decide to be boring or that you are so into Wham's Last Christmas that you can't help but not play. Like, I see you, it's all good. But I'm always excited to play. We're in I think I was looking back, as we're in about our 8th year of playing Whamageddon. Last year, I found out, I looked on my time hop, and last year I got, I think it was like maybe the 7th or the 8th, at a hospital. I was doing an overnighter with my stepdad, who was in hospital at the time, and I got in the bloody hospital. I was furious. I'm trying to not enter into places where it's forced upon me. Today, I feel like I'm running the gauntlet. It is a Christmas lunch. I am going to speak to whoever's running the playlist. Is Wham's Last Christmas on? Because can we please avoid it? Just keep me alive and in the game. So yeah. So how are you all doing? What are you celebrating? Let me tell you, I'm celebrating a few things this week. We are celebrating selling 17 out of the 22 expo spaces. So we went live with that just a couple of weeks ago. Over Black Friday, lots of you got involved with the expo part of Be Inspired on the 30th and 31st of March. So we are almost out of places, which is weird. Not weird. Weird is the wrong word. Considering that at this point, prior to the previous event, we hadn't sold any. We hadn't even built an expo at this point. It is just amazing to see that so many of you have either seen the potential in the expo, or I've done it last time and God, you know what? It was so good and we got so much from it that it's an absolute no-brainer for us. I've got one bauble that's really at the party and one that is just a little bit more like watching what's going on. This one's at the rave. So that's really cool. I've had a number of meetings this week with some brand sponsorship partners as well. I can't wait to share with you more details on that, but that's really exciting. Huge news for a massive event that I'm going to be a part of next year, and you're going to be wanting to be a part of it as well. It's a massive collaboration between me and a massive event. Can't tell you anything other than that. In the meantime, as soon as I'm able to announce it, I will. That would be me and you on a night out. Your baubles. Joe Wilson, I've got a feeling that you probably wouldn't. I think you'd be letting your hair down. Can we all give shout outs? So Joe Wilson is a huge member of our community. Is my resident heckler. And I just want to congratulate her on the release of her book, which has been a passion project. It's called The Art, the Artist and the Boxers. The Art, the Artist and the Boxer Dogs, I think is what it's called, which features some of her hilarious, very rudimentary art centered around her boxer dogs. And Jo Wilson runs Dog School for Humans, which is a fantastic dog training community, and she's a fantastic dog trainer, has helped me with my own dogs. So celebrating you and the launch of your book, you can go and grab that on Amazon. I bought my copy this morning. Huge shout out to the Great British Entrepreneur Awards. Their book came out today. If you go search Francesca James as the author, you can grab yourselves a copy of that. It tells the story of 10 of the great British entrepreneurs that are coming through, including one of my lovely friends, Christopher Kenner from Brand Advance. So really excited to see so many of my friends doing really great things in the author space this week. We're celebrating the expo. We're also celebrating, I think we've got 8 tables sold for Be Inspired. We were going to go for 500 delegates, but in order to maintain the expo space and in order to maintain sort of crowd control, we're going for 300 this time. We're already a third of the way to selling out, which is just amazing. So if you do want to get your tickets and you do want to get your tables, head on over to iamthequeenbee.co.uk. We're going to be doing some offers in the not too distant future in terms of bringing a friend. I will let you know more about that in the not too distant. What else have I got to tell you? Do you know what I'm celebrating this week? My face coming back to life. So I got pretty ill over the weekend and my face dropped, and not because I was sad, but because I have a virus, and every so often it activates, and it means that I get kind of Bell's palsy symptoms. It's called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. And that was pretty painful and pretty nasty and pretty gnarly, but we was able to get to medication in time. So the hospital have already diagnosed me. I have like emergency steroids and emergency antivirals. So as soon as I see anything happening, I take those and it kind of nips it in the bud. So I'm very, very lucky that I've got a good medical team that look after me. And I'm very, very lucky that I have a very, very good team of friends and a very, very good team around me who have really rallied around this week. Sometimes I've rolled my eyes. Sometimes I'm like, please, everybody leave me the fuck alone. And actually, when I feel like that, that's the time when I need to not be left the fuck alone. And my friends and the people that support me know this. And have really held space for me this week. So yesterday, one of my mentors, Stephen, essentially kidnapped me. So we had a mentoring session in, and he was like, Danny, you are not breathing. You need to get outside. We'll do our mentoring session, but we're going to do it face to face, and we're going to go to a park and we're going to walk around the park. We're going to do a few laps of the park, and then we will sit down and have a drink or whatever. But you need some fresh air. And I can't tell you how good it was for my soul to walk and talk. It just felt so out of context. It felt so freeing, and like I'm doing this because like energetically it felt like I was kind of pulling like the cotton wool from my ears and from around me. So that was a really epic thing to do, and I really want to kind of recommend that to anybody. If you're feeling stifled at the moment, you feel like the walls are closing in on you and you feel like you can't get out of your business, at least take your business outside. That was a big revelation for me this week, that, you know, right now in this moment, because of everything that's going on, me and the team are working on me putting the plates down. But if I put all the plates down right in this moment, a lot of things fall down, and that's not right either. However, how can we incorporate self-care into the things that we're doing that isn't just taking a bubbly bath or just stopping? How do I, you know, delegate a little bit more? How do I empower the team more to do what it is that they're doing, instead of me just going, I can't do it, can everyone pick up the slack? Like, who's doing what, who needs to take the reins now? And I'm so lucky that I've got an incredible team that are really mindful of that. And it's been really brilliant over the past couple of weeks to start to look at all the plates that I'm spinning and see which ones can we put down or which ones can we move around. Sloan, I know you're going to be happy to hear that. I'm very, 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 very grateful for all of my friends who have aggressively loved on me this week, even when I've rolled my eyes, even when I might not have responded, even when it might feel as somebody holding that space for me that I'm not grateful for it. I really am. It's really difficult for me to receive, which takes me on to the next thing that I did yesterday. Is I had a session with Prash Sharma. Now, if anybody knows Prash Sharma, will know what an incredible soul she is. She's also a fantastic space holder, and she has lots of tools within her arsenal centered around movement, centered around energy, centered around connection. That actually what I need right now. So if I look, do I know the things that I need to know about my business? And the answer is yes. And for a lot of you, this is the case. Do I need to just stop? The answer is that's probably going to be pretty difficult. So what can I do energetically that's going to allow me to connect to myself? And working with Prash last night, we did a 90-minute session. She did what's called a movement analysis, and we did some energy work together. And some of her feeding back to me what she was so she's like a master reader of movement, of body language, of sort of holding space. And then all she does is kind of hold the mirror up and says, okay, when I ask this, your body does this. This means X, Y, and Z. And actually, that's the kind of work that I need to do right now, that reflective work, as opposed to the doing, as opposed to the you need to do this. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. But where am I actively getting joy from? And one of the answers was fucking dancing. Like, there is not enough dancing in my life. I am so happy right now that it is December and I've got Daily Boppers on. Like, I can't tell you how happy it makes me. I can't tell you how powerful that session. So 2 things massively powerful yesterday. One was taking my business outdoors. Just doing that was massive, huge, huge, huge thing. And the other was allowing and investing some time and some money, shutting my door, telling the kids an hour and a half, please leave me the fuck alone. I love you. You need me well. Please leave me the fuck alone, everybody, for a minute, whilst I did this work with Prash. And the work with Prash, it was emotional. It was intense. I had to be really vulnerable in a way that, yeah, I'm vulnerable with you guys, just like I'm being vulnerable now. I'm being very honest about, the situation that I'm in and all of that, but actually really pulling all of the layers back of the onion and looking at myself and going, okay, so what is this? Why am I getting like this? What am I hiding from? What am I pushing myself so far into work with that I'm not having to look at elsewhere? And I think some of that is what this has been, is that I'm trying to do so much for everyone. She did this exercise with me. She's like, I just want you to move your hands as if you're shaking water off. And then she was like, I want you to move your hands as if you're bringing something towards you. And she was watching this and she was like, Danny, you are flinging your energy at people. Like, you're throwing it at people like this. It was all very subconscious. She didn't tell me like what to expect from the session or whatever, but she was like, you are throwing your energy away. You are literally giving it to everybody who is around you, who is in your periphery, who is in your audience. You're just like throwing it at them. And then the movement that I made as I was bringing whatever it was towards me, she was like, but you're dropping it here. You're like pulling it towards you, then you're dropping it here. Like it's not reaching you because you're not letting it, because you're throwing it all away. And that was a really good sort of metaphor or analysis of how I receive help or how I receive anything. Is that I want it, like I can see it, I know it's there, and I know that I want it, but I don't feel like it's for me, so it escapes me at the last minute, which means that everything is hard, everything is a struggle. And it was a real powerful insight into where I'm at in my head right now, and that is what I needed. That is the work that I need to do right now, not get another business coach who's going to tell me what to do in my business and tell me what products I need to run. I know already. I know how to deliver really good service. I know how to deliver really great events. I know how to sell tickets. I know how to do it all. But I need me right in the center of it. And that's what I'm celebrating this week, is that active work, that action taken towards doing that in order to free up here up. Because actually, when I think about it, and this is always the case, that not half of the problem, almost 100% of the problem is up here. And if up here is chaotic and cluttered and messy, then the outward motion is going to be chaotic and cluttered and messy, and that's how it's felt. So that was really good. So I want to say a huge shout out to Prash for holding that space for me and doing that session with me last night. I cannot recommend it highly enough. If anybody has been considering doing this work is important. If you are a busy bastard and you don't have time for anything, and you don't have time for you, and you feel like the wheels are going to come off at any moment, then this is the kind of work that you need to do. So a few things came away from it, is that I need to move. I love moving. I need to dance. I love dancing. And I need to get rid of some of this sort of external clutter and moving my business outside, even at least once a week. If I can move and be outside and breathe the fresh air whilst I'm working, then I feel like already that's going to tip the balance. So I'm celebrating those kinds of insights this week. So what about you lot? What are you celebrating this week? What insights have you had? What awakenings have you had? Have you had any? A huge shout out to the gorgeous Alex Lynham for doing our inclusivity, or the first of our inclusivity trainings over in the IATQB Hive. If you haven't caught that yet, please do go and catch it. We'll be going live again a little bit later on today. We're not going live, but actually sharing with you again the second of our 12 days of Christmas. I'm celebrating my self-care efforts this week, Sloane is saying, and drawing the line where I can find more balance for me and my mission. Love it. My wheel is already off. Literally only got 3 wheels on my car at the moment. I need it fixed so I can get back out. What was I saying then? So the 12 days of Christmas. So we're sharing every single day for the next, well, no, 11 days, how you can get involved from a partnership perspective in Be Inspired. How can we work together as businesses for us at Be Inspired at IATQB to lift you up and share you with our phenomenal audience? There's lots of wicked partnership opportunities, sponsorship opportunities that are going to put you right front and center of Be Inspired. And you know, I love nothing more than inviting you in from my community to share some of that stuff. Nikki saying, yes, something similar in that from January, I'm going to get out of home to work elsewhere for 1 day a week. Haven't found anywhere yet. Needs to be needed. The school pickup. Yeah, definitely one of the realizations that we've had, certainly in the last 12 months. I'm still working from my car or from my bedroom. And we need a premises now, whether that's a garage conversion or whether that's offices for the time being. But I need at least 2 days a week where I am not in my house, where I go out to work. So I can be around people, or so, you know, so me and Danielle can work together for a day, so that, you know, so that we can get stuff done. So I have somewhere to meet people and all of that. That I need that now. Also, you know, when we look at it, Flying Away Foundation, it's, you know, projected to be turning over 3 million in the next 3 years. IATQB is already turning over multi-6 figures. I'm running a charitable foundation and a relatively large business from my bedroom. That's not sustainable. Like, we need to grow into some bigger shoes. Sarah had a SAS storm with Jojo Smith yesterday. Lots of light bulb moments and clarity. Got so many plans for 2023. Jojo Smith is phenomenal for helping you get juicy and get creative around your plans and your strategy and your branding. Do go and give her a look out. Her SAS storms are legendary. Telewest building is still up for rent at Frenchwood. I'll go off. That's a big old building. That I'm just looking for an office. There's some offices that I have access to, but I really want to make it an IATQB space. Like, I want to be able to decorate. I know it sounds silly, but I want to be able to decorate it. I want to be able to make it feel like home, and have a real base somewhere. Somewhere that I can have workshops and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I launched my Don't Fear Queer Inclusion and Networking event for January. I am going to that. That must be Alex Lynham from Beyond the Binary. If you have not got your ticket yet to Don't Fear Queer Inclusion and Networking event for January, please do get hold of the link. It's in the Hive, or tap Alex up and they will sort you out with a link to book on. I will be there with bells on. It's on the 13th of January. Loads of things to look forward to. Can't wait to share with you even more exciting stuff that's happening at IATQB HQ. I know I keep saying, I feel like I'm teasing you with stuff all the time, but there are some things that are cooking just underneath the surface that I'm almost ready to tell you about. And I really can't wait. 2023 feels really pivotal. I know every year has felt pivotal for us at I Am the Queen Bee HQ. I know that it always feels pivotal. This year has been a big level up for lots of reasons. And next year, leveling up doesn't necessarily mean size. Leveling up means quality for me next year. So instead of making the event bigger, we're taking on the feedback from our previous event to make it better, to give people a better experience. And I was talking to my mentor yesterday specifically about that. He was like, why, Danny, do you think improving is doing more, earning more? What about focusing on giving a better experience? What about taking, like, looking at everything that's gone on in the last year and say, like, how do we improve that by even 1%? And if incrementally 1% across the board, you make 1% increase or improvement, even if it's just from an experience point of view, everybody benefits. And that really shifted something for me yesterday, is that I want to improve the quality. I want to improve the quality of the show, she says in a Dealy Bopper sat in her car. I want to improve the quality of everything that we deliver on next year. And that's how I feel like next year is going to be pivotal. That instead of looking at the numbers on growth next year, for me, it's about standing out more. And that's what I want. That if the bills are paid and my team are paid, then what I want, nothing more than next year, is to be noticed, is to be seen, to be providing the best quality in what it is that we do, whether that's events, whether that's in public speaking training, or whether that's, you know, within the Flying Away Foundation and working with our business builders and providing a better ambassador experience. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. That's what the plans are. Let me know in the comments what yours are. We're going to be heading on towards that. I always hold a little bit of space in between Christmas and New Year for us to hang out and have a little bit of a powwow. So if anybody wants to do that in between Christmas and New Year, I'll be holding just like a Twixmas Zoom that is not charged. We just hang out and have a bit of this into the new year, and just press pause a little sec. So I love you. Have a wonderful day. Have a fabulous Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. If you haven't got your tickets to Be Inspired yet, do. IamTheQueenBee.co.uk, and I will see you on Monday for more showing up, wising up, and rising up. I'll see you later.